Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a big announcement from Northern Light Health and Anthem Insurance as they finally reach a contract agreement.
Plus, Jared Golden will not be seeking re-election for his seat in Congressional District 2, changing the landscape for the 2026 midterms.
And question 2, in this year's referendum election passed by a large margin, we spoke to both sides about what that entails for Maine. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Janessa Bishop.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday morning. We'll have all the day's news coming up over the next hour. But first, to check out that weather, starting off on the rainy side this morning.
Very rainy.
Yeah, here in the Bangor area, just kind of dreary and icky out there.
Yep.
Saw some pictures on social media last night that they received a little snow in some areas out, I think, around Sugarloaf, Western Maine. So it's just a matter of time.
It is. Yeah. We'll turn things over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Janessa. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive in Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment. 922-2043. Alrighty, here we go. Gale warnings are posted along the coast, lasting until later on this evening at around 10 o'clock p.m. Some wind advisories also posted until 9 a.m. later on this morning, so definitely watching for more gusty winds along parts of the state as we are watching an area of low pressure passing through. It's been bringing with it some precipitation, mainly rain, but a few reports of snow have been coming in as well, and it's been sticking in a few spots, but nothing too ridiculous at this point. If it has been sticking, it's not going to be lasting very long with warmer temperatures and warmer soil temperatures as well, but the area low pressure located right here is going to be moving away very quickly. So overall today we will be under a partly cloudy sky. A slight chance for rain still cannot be ruled out for the rest of the day, but overall partly cloudy today and overall becoming mostly clear. It's still breezy coming up later on tonight. Your hourly forecast moving forward, we'll still have some clouds and again that slight chance for rain today with temperatures in the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Janessa.
Thank you, Devin. We'll look forward to that. Well, it's a huge relief for Northern Light Health patients who use Anthem Insurance. After months of negotiations, the two organizations announced they have finally reached a contract agreement that will ensure in-network access for Anthem members throughout Maine. That includes those who are enrolled in employer-sponsored, individual, and Medicare Advantage health plans. The new contract takes effect retroactively to November 1st, which means all care delivered since that day will be treated as in-network for Anthem members.
Well, less than 24 hours after Election Day 2025 was in the books, Congressman Jared Golden made an announcement that drastically changes the landscape for the 2026 midterm elections. Golden announced he will not run for re-election for his seat in Congressional District 2. Golden said while he has found fulfillment in his service, he has grown wary of what he calls the incivility and plain nastiness that are now common not only in some pockets of society, but that he says are exhibited by some of his congressional colleagues as well. He also wrote that recent incidents of political violence, including the murder of Minnesota lawmaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, the attack on Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, and the murder of Charlie Kirk have made him reevaluate the threats that are made against him and his own family. He cited the fact that last Thanksgiving, he and his family spent the holiday in a hotel room after another threat was made against their home. He said that while he is confident he would have won re-election, that isn't the problem. He wrote, quote, "I don't fear losing. What has become apparent to me is that I now dread the prospect of winning. Simply put, what I could accomplish in this increasingly unproductive Congress pales in comparison to what I could do with that time as a husband, a father, and a son," end quote.
Well, we asked political expert and UMaine Political Science Department Chair Mark Brewer to weigh in on Golden's big announcement. Like many, Brewer said he did find the announcement somewhat surprising, but not terribly so, given the political climate. He says it may have just gotten harder for Democrats to hold that seat, especially if an unknown Democrat were to be the one to face off with former Governor Paul LePage.
If you're in LePage's camp, this is positive, right? It's hard to imagine the Democrats coming up with a better candidate than Golden to hold that seat. And even if they do, running in an open seat is almost always preferable to running against a multi-term incumbent.
Brewer also said if you're a Mainer today, you are likely just shocked, especially since the results yesterday were largely positive for Democrats. But he says that may have only heightened Golden's fears for his family.
And there's plenty of evidence for that. And it's not just for Golden, it's elected officials across the board, both Democrats and Republicans. It's always been somewhat of a safety risk to serve in public life in any capacity. But we are in a situation now where threats against elected officials have reached kind of a level of normalcy that none of us should be willing to accept.
Well, reactions to Golden's announcement are pouring in. The campaign strategist for Paula Page says the former governor released the following statement, quote, "This race has always been about fighting for rural Maine. As governor, I spent 8 years helping create jobs and making Maine more prosperous. I am running for Congress to make sure that working Maine families have a voice in Washington, D.C. This fight is just beginning."
Well, meanwhile, in other news, question 2 in this year's referendum election passed by a large margin. While supporters say this will help prevent gun violence in Maine, opponents argue it now puts law enforcement officers in potentially dangerous situations. Our Doug Banks with that story.
The AP says over 300,000 Mainers voted to pass question 2 on this year's ballot, which will institute a red flag gun law in the state. The new law gives families and law enforcement the ability to go directly to a court when someone is in crisis. And if a court deems them dangerous, it may temporarily restrict their access to deadly weapons. Maine's current yellow flag law is similar to what was passed on Tuesday. The major difference with the yellow flag law is that only law enforcement can go to a judge. The red flag law will now allow family or household members to go to a judge as well. Opponents of question 2, specifically the Maine Law Enforcement Coalition, voiced concerns on Wednesday, saying the passage of the Citizens Initiative weakens due process protections, undermines constitutional rights, and places law enforcement officers in uncertain situations. President of the Maine State Troopers Association, Joe Bureau, says in part, quote, "Question 2 expands government authority to seize firearms in ways that risk violating constitutional safeguards and create confusion in the field for both citizens and officers," end quote. Advocates of question 2, however, say this is responsible gun legislation. One of those advocates is Arthur Bernard, whose son, Arthur Strout, died in the Lewiston mass shooting 2 years ago.
As far as I'm concerned, if you go in front of a judge and you present evidence, that's due process. And, the family member doesn't decide to take the weapons away. It's the judge, ultimately. Even with the red flag law, it's the judge who ultimately makes that decision.
Doug Banks reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, Governor Janet Mills has released her reaction to the results of Maine's referendum questions. In a press release on the rejection of question 1, the governor stated, quote, "Once again, Maine people have affirmed their faith in our free, fair, and secure elections, in this case by rejecting a direct attempt to restrict voting rights. Maine has long had one of the highest rates of voter turnout in the nation, in good part due to safe absentee voting, and Maine people tonight have said they want to keep it that way." On the approval of question 2, Mills said, quote, "I sincerely hope that this measure will strengthen public safety, as proponents have argued. My administration will work with law enforcement and the public to implement this new law, along with our existing extreme risk protection law, to best ensure the safety of Maine people."
Well, votes are still being counted, but as of now, the Washington County $11 million bond referendum now appears to have been rejected. Taking a look at the numbers, there is a difference of nearly 1,000 votes in opposition to the referendum. Prior to the election day, Washington County officials held a press conference where they explained that even if the bond passed, they needed to examine what emergency services could receive cuts.
There are certain things that we have to provide. I don't know how we're going to pay for it. We can't just shut down the jail and send the inmates home. It doesn't work that way.
With these results, Washington County is left millions of dollars in debt with no clear plan to fund the county and the services it provides.
In Hamden, voters said no to using over $1 million from an already approved fund to build a new administrator building. They were asked whether the school board should move forward with plans to build a new modular office building at 24 Main Road North. The project would have been capped at $1.6 million and funded through the district's Administrative Office Replacement Reserve Fund. When the votes were counted, 1,354 votes said no to the project, and only 1,232 voters said yes.
Moving on now, a man wanted for murder in New York has been arrested in Winterport. The U.S. Marshal Service says it developed leads that 52-year-old Lamont Dolberry of New York had fled and had been living at a residence in Maine for the past several months. On November 4th, the Maine Violent Offender Task Force found Dolberry operating an e-scooter near Cove Road in Winterport. They say he was safely apprehended and transported to jail, where he's now awaiting extradition back to New York.
Meanwhile, human remains have been found in the Aroostook County town of Blaine. A local resident found them on October 30th. A spokesperson says Maine State Police Major Crimes Unit detectives and evidence response team members responded to the scene to investigate. The remains were taken to the medical examiner's office in Augusta for examination and positive identification. The spokesperson says that process can take some time. No identification has been confirmed at this point, and that investigation is still ongoing.
The Kennebec County Sheriff's Office is asking the public's help in the search for a missing woman from Chelsea. They say 74-year-old Bonnie Frappier was reported missing from her home on River Road on Friday morning, and they believe she may be in the Waterville area. Bonnie was last seen wearing a green long-sleeve shirt, black pants, and a black baseball cap. Anyone with information is asked to call the Regional Communications Office at 624-7076.
A woman who allegedly shot a teenager in Benton has been indicted for attempted murder. 20-year-old Haley Hotham is charged with shooting Isaac Spalding after what police described as a several-day bender of alcohol consumption and cocaine use. Police say Hotham and Spalding allegedly got into a verbal altercation. As Spalding attempted to leave the residence, Hotham allegedly raised a pistol and shot him in the neck. The shooting happened on the Unity Road in August. Hotham was also indicted for domestic violence, aggravated assault, and the Kennebec County Grand Jury also indicted a Liberty man who allegedly robbed a Waterville store. 59-year-old Kirby Bradford was arrested after police received a call about a robbery at the shoe department Encore store in August. Bradford was indicted for robbery, theft by unauthorized taking, and violation of condition of release. In September, Bradford was charged with murder in connection with a homicide that happened in Palmero in April.
All kinds of things going on.
All kinds of things. Well, the time now is 6:13. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, Heart of Maine United Way celebrated the opening of their new nonprofit.
We'll tell you how they plan to use that coming up. But first, another check of that forecast. A partly cloudy day ahead with just a slight chance of rain. Highs around 45 degrees. Mostly clear and breezy tonight with lows dropping down to the mid-20s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and breezy with highs near 48. We'll be right back.
This is my super stylish Bryn sofa.
And this is the gorgeous matching love seat.
This is what they look like on their own. And this is what they could look like in your home.
Plus, when you bundle them, you save $179.
Oh, my mom!
Looking for winter services? There is still time to sign up. The pros at Atlantic Lawn Care and Landscape specialize in snow removal and ice management for commercial and residential properties. They will take care of the snow plowing, snow blowing, shoveling, salting, and sanding. Atlantic now has 2 locations and is accepting new clients in Brewer, Bangor, Vesey, and in town Orono, Brunswick, Topsail, Bath, and surrounding areas. Call for your free estimate or visit our website for customizable services. Local, reliable, and fully insured. Atlantic Lawn Care and Landscape.
So, what do we have for you this year?
This month on GMA, are you ready for
Deals and steals on my favorite things?
It's Oprah time.
Only on GMA with Tori, of course.
Only on
Good Morning America.
I started smoking at age 16. I was scared when they found cancer in my lung.
Lung cancer, still the deadliest cancer in Maine, but a new test can find it earlier when treatment is more successful.
They were able to remove my cancer and I went back to work, but now I'm retired.
If you're age 55 or older and smoke now or smoked heavily in the past, ask your provider if lung cancer screening is right for you. And learn more at screenmaine.org.
Welcome back, everyone. The Dover Foxcroft Police Department is hoping someone might have information that will help them solve a theft. This black 20-foot trailer with gear and 2 snowmobiles were taken from Summer Street. The snowmobiles are a yellow 2020 Ski-Doo XRS 900 Turbo and a black 2019 Ski-Doo MXZX 850. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Piscataquis Regional Communications Center. Their number is 564-3304.
Heart of Maine United Way celebrated the grand opening of their new nonprofit hub yesterday. The shared space is a first of its kind for Maine and aims to strengthen the state's nonprofit sector. Our Grace Blanchard has that story.
I'm honored to be able to do the honors.
Heart of Maine United Way has a new home.
It's been a many-year project in the making, and we're just really excited to offer this out to the community, to nonprofits in our region.
The nonprofit has unveiled the state's first nonprofit hub, a shared space that aims to bolster the nonprofit sector.
It really is all about enhancing the capacity of nonprofits to deliver on their missions.
According to the organization's president, their hope is it will be a multifunctional space to support collaboration and other needs to give nonprofits the tools to serve more people.
We just know that there are a variety of needs that are facing nonprofits, and they're being stretched very thin today. And so asking to do more with less, and we wanted to find a way that how can we help nonprofits do more with more? And so that's really what this is all about.
The total cost of this project is $1.7 million. The organization says they have already raised more than 80% of that.
We have such community support that see the vision and understand the value that this project is going to bring, and that we're already at 80% is just a testament to that community support.
Area nonprofits hope to see immediate impacts for their organizations and the communities they serve.
So every single individual, every single organization, every single donor that comes through this building is going to be met with incredibly bold, incredibly innovative, and forward-thinking ideas to advance organizations like the Christine B. Foundation, and I'm excited about what's to come.
In Bangor, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
It's a great idea. They're going to have a lot of things under that one roof right there.
Yeah. Have it all in one building and, you know, spread those resources like they said.
Exactly. That way they can focus their resources on other things.
Yes. Well, the time now is 6:17. After the break, we spoke to warming shelters in the area about their plans as the colder months are approaching.
We'll hear from them coming up. Plus, we'll have more details into that UPS plane crash in Kentucky. Those stories and more straight ahead on Good Morning Maine.
Foggy's Pub, your place for fun, food, and friends in Palmyra, Maine.
Join us every Friday this season as we celebrate the return to the gridiron with the most highlights, reactions, and analysis of your favorite teams. Catch Sports Blitz Friday at 11 on ABC 7. Sports Blitz is brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 30 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares. And by Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A Holden, where you will find furniture that's in stock and ready for delivery.
Carpets looking tired, stained, or just plain dirty? It's time to call the pros. At CNR Carpet Cleaning, we use deep steam technology to remove dirt, odors, pet hair, and allergens fast. Fresh, clean carpets, healthier home. That's the CNR promise. Visit our Facebook page for a free estimate or call us today, 631-7380. Step into clean with CNR Carpet Cleaning.
Earlier this year, it was announced that the Bangor homeless shelter would not be operating a warming center this winter. Since then, the question has been, will there be enough space in warming shelters to accommodate Bangor's homeless population?
As temperatures drop and winter quickly approaches, that question still doesn't have a clear answer. Our Alex Schley spoke with two local nonprofits who say their plans remain up in the air after city funding fell through.
On Wednesday, two Bangor-based nonprofits were informed that they wouldn't receive the amount of funding they had expected from the city to open warming shelters.
They said they would put money out for anyone that wanted to do a warming center.
About a month ago, we spoke to city officials. We discussed the idea of possibly opening up a warming shelter here at the Together Place. There was a certain amount of funding that they discussed.
Both the Brick Church and the Together Place agreed to open warming shelters pending funding.
There was $157,000 in this GA account, and we thought that they were going to do 60 for us and 60 for the Brick, and that would get us up and running, and then we were going to raise the rest of the money in grants and other community funders.
Wednesday, both organizations learned they'd received just $30,000. Both organizations had planned to open on November 15th. Now, with that just days away, neither know what their next move will be. The Brick Church, which can accommodate up to 70 people, says they may have to turn some away.
Can't accommodate that many people with $30,000.
The Together Place says they may not be able to open at all.
There is a substantial cost to getting these programs going and to make them sustainable.
Bangor city officials were unable to be reached for comment. In Bangor, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And it's worth noting that the Mansion Church's warming center did open early this week on November 1st, but it's going to be a struggle as the cold weather sets in.
Very scary.
Yeah.
Well, the time now is 6:22. Let's get a full look at our weather forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment, 922-2043. Already gale warnings up along the coast, lasting until 10 o'clock later on this evening. Along the coast right about in here with wind advisories expiring later on this morning. Right about in here as well for parts of the state. So definitely a mess out there this morning. Wave heights, a mess as well at around 3 to 8 feet according to the buoys. Even worse farther out towards sea at around 12 feet and even 10 feet according to this buoy. And anywhere you see green, even higher surf being estimated by the graphics at this moment in time. The area low pressure continuing to track off towards the east this morning. On land, some rain and even some snow being estimated by radar, so don't be surprised if you notice some snow this morning. It won't really stick for very long as air temperatures will be warm and ground temperatures still warm as well, so nothing to get too worried about, but we're definitely entering that time of the year where the precipitation will be switching over from time to time as these systems do track through and temperatures definitely swing, but we'll see this wrapping up throughout the morning period as things definitely progress. But futurecasts moving forward, partly cloudy, the general idea today, but if you look closely, slight chance for rain not out of the question today. And then later on tonight, mostly clear, still breezy at times. Then throughout tomorrow, sunshine to start, and then increasing clouds throughout the day. And then once we head towards Friday evening, another system passes through, snow to the north, rain chances for us, and we'll be watching for that again through parts of Saturday. Not a lot of rain, but we could see up to a quarter of an inch or so before we're all finished up there. So for today, mid-40s, partly cloudy, a slight chance for rain, and that northwest wind getting up to about 40 miles per hour at times. Tonight, mid-20s, mostly clear and breezy, and that west wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow, upper 40s, mostly cloudy and breezy, and that south wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive. Rain chances for your Saturday with highs in the upper 50s, mid-40s for your Sunday under a mostly cloudy sky, and rain chances again for your Monday with highs in the mid-40s.
Every step matters. Every fit makes a difference. Lamy Wellahan, Maine's trusted shoe store. Premium brands, casual classics, modern style. Professional fittings, always. Shop in store or online.
Tired of worrying whether your credit will hold you back from getting a car? At Down East Credit Union, we believe everyone deserves reliable transportation, even with less than perfect credit. Let us guide you every step of the way. If your credit score is under 670 or you've had setbacks like bankruptcy or repossession, that doesn't mean you're out of options. We'll help you get pre-approved, guide you through car shopping, and work with you on a plan to rebuild your credit. Reach out to Down East Credit Union today. Let's get you on the road confidently.
The Heritage House restaurant in Skowhegan, where fine dining meets locally sourced ingredients. Indulge in the freshest seafood, succulent steaks, and an extensive selection of fine wines. Whether you're here for a special occasion, a delightful meal out with friends, or a casual lunch, you'll enjoy the freshest ingredients served in a charming atmosphere. Reservations are encouraged, but walk-ins are always welcome. For an unforgettable dining experience, visit the Heritage House in Skowhegan.
Would you or your organization like to stay informed about current full-time job openings at ABC7 and Fox 22? Email us at tv7jobs@wvii.com or write to us at 371 Target Industrial Circle, Bangor, Maine 04401, and we'll gladly add you to our list. ABC7 and Fox 22 are proud to be equal opportunity employers.
Winter's coming, and so are the holidays. Save 20% store-wide during Lamy Wellahan's Black Friday preview, November 7th through 9th. Shop the premium brands your family loves, in-store or online, with code PREVIEW20. Exclusions apply.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
At 37 days, the government shutdown is now considered the longest in U.S. history, breaking the record set during President Trump's first administration. This morning, a new warning that thousands of flights across the country are about to be canceled. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has details.
This morning, the government shut down reaching day 37 and putting a growing strain on air travel. The FAA reducing flight capacity by up to 10%, impacting thousands of domestic flights at nearly 40 major airports by this weekend. ABC News overnight exclusively obtaining the list of the 40 airports that will be affected, from Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta to LAX in Los Angeles, and from Miami to JFK in New York.
This is about where is the pressure and how do we alleviate the pressure.
It comes as air traffic controllers and TSA officers go nearly 6 weeks without pay and are now increasingly calling out sick. In the meantime, FAA employees warn the impacts on air safety could get worse the longer the shutdown drags on.
We wish to stay vigilant when we want to, and we have every intent to, but at some point, if it's between me and my pride versus my son going without, not eating, or my wife not being able to take her medication, I will be forced to make a decision.
Overnight, United Airlines saying it will offer refunds to anyone who does not wish to fly while the flight reductions are in effect. Frontier CEO going further, making this recommendation. If your flight is canceled, your chances of being stranded are high, so I would simply have a backup ticket on another airline. On Capitol Hill, cuts to Medicaid and healthcare subsidies are still the major sticking point, with both sides refusing to budge. And sources say the FAA will begin cutting 4% of flights tomorrow, will then ramp up to 10% of flights through this coming weekend if the government is still shut down. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Well, meanwhile, a new arrest in the nationwide immigration crackdown is igniting controversy, this one outside a daycare facility. In Chicago, outrage after a woman was detained by immigration agents at a daycare where she works. Witnesses claim Diana Galeno, who is undocumented, was chased inside the daycare, then dragged out. But Homeland Security officials tell a different story. They say agents tried to take Galeno into custody earlier, but they say when officers tried to pull over the car she was in, the man who was driving sped off. They say the two then ran to the daycare and attempted to barricade themselves inside, recklessly endangering the children inside. ICE says she was not arrested in the school, but in the lobby and not in front of the children, insisting they did not target a daycare. DHS says Galeno, who is from Colombia, has been in the country illegally for years.
And in Kentucky, the death toll is rising and people are still missing after that terrifying UPS plane crash. And now new video evidence is emerging. ABC's Mola Lenghi has the story.
This morning, the search for answers after this UPS cargo jet in Louisville, loaded with nearly 250,000 pounds of fuel, lost an engine during takeoff. 12 people are confirmed dead, including a child, but that number could rise.
Oh my God!
NTSB investigators say they found the plane's black boxes and are reviewing videos showing the flight bound for Honolulu barreling down the runway with its left engine on fire.
And we have viewed airport CCTV security coverage, which shows the left engine detaching from the wing during the takeoff roll.
As the aircraft begins to rotate and tries to gain altitude, we see sparks coming out of the center engine, which suggests that some of the debris may have damaged the second engine.
This truck driver's dashboard camera capturing the moment the plane hit the ground, skidding on its side. The crash badly damaging a petroleum recycling plant and an auto parts warehouse.
Did everybody make it out? No. What do you mean, no? No!
3 employees of the auto parts business are still missing. The CEO tells us his business looks like a war zone, adding the plane is in pieces. The fuselage is where one of our administration offices used to be. It was very tough. The governor and Louisville's mayor touring the crash site yesterday. The wreckage still smoldering. The plane had been out of service for maintenance for much of the last month, and once again over the weekend.
Basically, what we had here was probably one of the worst in history, if not the worst, uncontained engine failures.
Well, the debris field from the explosion is pretty big. People in the surrounding areas are asked to call police if they find any wreckage. Mola Lenghi, ABC News, New York.
Boy, I can only imagine being some of the people on the ground, seeing that
terrifying.
right in front of them.
That guy with the dash cam footage, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so scary.
Well, coming up on the second half of the newscast, people around the world are looking up at the night sky to see the biggest and brightest supermoon of the year.
We'll hear about that and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Don't get cold feet this winter. Stay warm and dry with high-performance footwear from Comfort Shoes and More. With an extensive selection of winter boots rated from 0 to minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit, you'll find comfort in knowing your feet will be warm in any weather. Discover the latest in functional and fashionable footwear with grippers built right into the sole. With boots in stock up to 6E and size 17 for men and women. Take the drive to Newport for a sit and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The Sylvia Ross Home in Bangor provides 5 professional levels of care and support for residents. We have access to a registered nurse on campus 24/7. Our weekly entertainment consists of a variety of live musical performances and bingo games twice a week. Our on-site beauty salon is available with a professional stylist, and we have 2 libraries that offer computers and Wi-Fi.
Sylvia Ross Home is a warm, welcoming community. Please join us anytime for a tour and lunch.
Hi, I'm Tony Hafford from TC Hafford Basement Systems, the all things basement-y company. Basement waterproofing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. Since 1991, over 15,000 Maine homeowners have trusted TC Hafford Basement Systems to fix their basements. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basement-y.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Thursday, November 6th, 2025, and it is also National Men Make Dinner Day.
Despite gender roles becoming less rigid in America, there are still many men who have not been taught how to cook. In fact, the idea that any single gender was responsible for creating meals is a fairly recent development that's quickly become antiquated in our modern society. This is a day for men to throw on that apron and make a delicious meal for themselves, their friends, or their family. I like that.
Giddy up, go make some dinner.
Very fun.
I've always cooked. I don't mind cooking, you know. And
I'm not a good cook.
you're not a good cook?
No.
Yeah, it's a good time to learn, maybe.
Yeah, maybe I'll celebrate this holiday today.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for some history. It was on this date back in 1869. Rutgers beat Princeton 6-4 in the very first college football game. It was played with a soccer ball, which resembled rugby instead of today's football. Of course, that changed over time. In 1888, Republican presidential candidate Benjamin Harrison won the electoral vote over Grover Cleveland, even though Cleveland had more than 90,000 more total votes. Wow. It would be the last time the popular vote winner would lose an election until George W. Bush beat Vice President Al Gore in the year 2000. And in 1923, Jacob Schick was granted a patent for the electric razor.
And in 1962, the UN General Assembly adopted a resolution condemning South Africa's apartheid policies.
Excuse me.
And in 1970, the rock band Aerosmith performed their very first concert. And in 1977, 39 people were killed when the Kelly Barnes Dam in Georgia burst, sending a wall of water through Toccoa Falls College. The earthen dam had been inspected just hours before it suddenly collapsed, sending water down the canyon at 120 miles per hour, leaving people no time to evacuate. Wow. And in 1991, the people of Kuwait celebrated the dousing of the last of the oil fires that had been ignited by Iraq during the Persian Gulf War.
All right, for birthdays today, we have a bunch of talented performers. They include actress Emma Stone, who is 37 years old today. Actor Ethan Hawke is 55, and Academy Award-winning actress Sally Field is 79 years old today. Happy birthday to them and to you also, if your birthday is today.
We're going to turn things right back over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Janessa. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment. 922-2043. Alrighty, here we go. Gale warnings are posted along the coast, lasting until later on this evening at around 10 o'clock p.m. Some wind advisories also posted until 9 a.m. later on this morning, so definitely watching for more gusty winds along parts of the state as we are watching an area of low pressure passing through. It's been bringing with it some precipitation, mainly rain, but a few reports of snow have been coming in as well, and it's been sticking in a few spots, but nothing too ridiculous at this point. If it has been sticking, it's not going to be lasting very long with warmer temperatures and warmer soil temperatures as well, but the area low pressure located right here is going to be moving away very quickly. So overall today we will be under a partly cloudy sky. A slight chance for rain still cannot be ruled out for the rest of the day, but overall partly cloudy today and overall becoming mostly clear. It's still breezy coming up later on tonight. Your hourly forecast moving forward, we'll still have some clouds and again that slight chance for rain today with temperatures in the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Janessa.
Thank you, Devin, for the latest on what's happening in Hollywood.
Here's ABC's Alex Stone.
You think we're just going to let you steal our fans? You're going to have to fight us for that.
A K-pop Demon Hunters sequel is now reportedly in the works. Netflix and Sony are planning a follow-up to the record-setting animated musical film. It's slated for release in 2029. The first K-pop Demon Hunters follows a fictional all-girl K-pop group who are also in charge of slaying demons. It's the most popular Netflix film of all time and has had 3 songs on the Billboard Hot 100. Dame Helen Mirren will receive the Cecil B. DeMille Award ahead of the Golden Globe ceremony, which is scheduled for early next year. The award, which has been handed out for more than 70 years, honors the lifetime achievements of some of Hollywood's biggest stars.
It is the one and only Tom Bergeron!
Tom Bergeron is returning to ABC's Dancing with the Stars as a guest judge. It's all because of the show's 20th anniversary, which will be celebrated next Tuesday. Bergeron left the show in 2020. Miss Piggy is for the first time getting her own movie. Jennifer Lawrence revealing on a podcast that herself and Emma Stone are developing a new film centered around the iconic Muppet, who first debuted on The Muppet Show back in 1976. And Emma Stone is also celebrating a birthday today. The two-time Oscar winner is 37. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Alex Stone, ABC News.
Still to come here this morning, Jack Webb with sports.
Don't go away.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
Building a new home or garage or expanding your current living space, the Home Planning Center specialists at Hammond Lumber Company are here to help. Bring them your ideas and explore Hammond's digital library of stock drawings for more inspiration. Hammond's drafting department will provide a customized floor plan. Once you approve the design, you'll receive detailed plans and a complete materials list. And when you buy all your materials from them, Hammond will refund all your design fees. To get started, bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Democrats have a three-part plan for 2026. Win control of Congress, stop Trump's momentum, and completely erase his agenda. If Republicans don't hold the majority, President Trump's historic achievements are at risk. Extending the premium tax credits working families use to pay for health care is how Republicans deliver on the promises that gave them the majority and protect Trump. Senator Collins, protect our premium tax credits and we'll protect the majority and the MAGA agenda.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
Hey, Maine, think you're wicked smart? Well, put your knowledge to the test with me, Ken Jennings, on Jeopardy! Weeknights at 7:30 on ABC 7.
Welcome back in, folks. We were supposed to have a jam-packed show for you full of soccer and field hockey regional final highlights, but the weather didn't want to cooperate, and that's all been pushed to Thursday night. So let's run through that schedule right now. Hamden Academy will host all three field hockey regional finals, starting with Class C at 3:30, followed by Class B at 5:30 and Class A at 7:30. As for soccer, Brewer will host the 8-player regional titles, starting with the girls at 4, then the boys at 6. Then over at Cameron, it's Class B soccer first with the girls at 4:30, followed by the boys at 6:30. Keep in mind, folks, all these times could be potentially pushed back if one of the games goes into a lengthy overtime like Orono and Mount View did on Tuesday night. But it'll be an exciting day tomorrow in the greater Bangor area as 7 teams will look to punch their ticket to a state championship game. Good luck to all competitors and rest up tonight. However, they did play a pair of regionals up in the county on Wednesday afternoon in D North girls soccer. Penobscot Valley getting the 2-0 win over Southern Aroostook, and then in D South girls regional, it was Ashland with the win over Monmouth. Tuesday, the Bangor Rams girls soccer team clinched their 3rd straight Class A North title and now have their sights set on back-to-back state championships. The Rams took home the regional title after defeating Camden Hills in a rematch of last year's North title game, 4-1. Senior Gabby Roy and sophomore Georgie Stevenson, who combined for 3 of the 4 goals scored by Bangor, said this win was a result of playing a complete team game and, more importantly, playing for one another.
It feels really good because I've been friends with these people and I've been playing with these people for years, so it feels really good to accomplish something together, especially since we did it last year, but we lost a lot of our players, so being able to do it again meant a lot.
Honestly, like playing this game, I was almost like doing it for the seniors because I know it's their last year and I was like, I'm going to work as hard as I can to help do my part.
Bangor will once again face a familiar foe in the state championship game when they take on Scarborough, who they have faced in the Class A title match the last 2 seasons. The 2 teams have split the series, and the Rams head coach Jay Kimball says going back-to-back means they'll need to continue to put in the same hard work this week that they have all season long.
It's going to be a grind, you know, whether it's Scarborough or Wyndham, they're both talented teams with good athletes, so
we'll go back to work tomorrow afternoon and get a couple good practices in before Saturday.
Honestly, energy is so important, and just we lift each other up always, and just our community is so great. Everyone's great to each other.
She basically said it all, like our teamwork, our communication, and the way we're selfless with the ball really helps.
Love the dual interview there. The NFL trade pool was busy ahead of Tuesday's deadline, with several teams making big moves. The Jets were big sellers on Tuesday, sending defensive tackle Quinnen Williams to Dallas for a first-round pick and cornerback Sauce Gardner to the Colts for 2 first-round picks. The New Orleans Saints shipped receiver Rashid Shaheed to the Seahawks. Vegas sent receiver Jacoby Myers to the Jags. Dallas further bolsters their front seven by trading for linebacker Logan Wilson, and Tennessee traded outside linebacker Dramont Jones to the Baltimore Ravens. Speaking of the trade deadline, New England Patriots were not buyers before the 4 p.m. cutoff on Tuesday. Many Patriots fans were shocked to see that the team did not make any moves before the trade deadline, as many had hoped. They'd been set up to make a big splash or even just add a few smaller pieces for depth on offense or defense, but the Pats stayed put and will ride with their current roster through the end of this season, one that already has the team at 7-2 record and sitting atop the AFC standings. When asked about whether or not the team was close to making a trade, head coach Mike Vrabel gave a rather interesting analogy.
Well, first I would say that deals are like being pregnant. You either are or you aren't. There's no it's either a deal or it's not. So I don't know how close you can be. I know that everyone worked hard and that we investigated and looked in and made phone calls and what personnel departments do.
Mike Vrabel. What else can you say? That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
See no evil, hear no evil. That's Jared Golden. As radicals from Golden's own party spew hateful rhetoric and launch violent attacks across the country, Golden shows no leadership at all. Elected officials targeted, innocent citizens killed. Jared Golden sits on his hands. And Golden voted against funding for law enforcement and ICE, making our communities more dangerous. Tell Congressman Golden, enough is enough. It's time for responsible leadership. Start voting to keep us all safe.
Hello, this is George Whelan with Down East Direct Cremation. Now, anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, from the comfort of your desktop or the convenience of your mobile device, you can summon transport and arrange a simple, affordable, respectful Down East Direct Cremation for your deceased loved one. Just by using the button exclusively at downeastdirectcremation.com. All you need is the location address of the person who has died, their vital statistics information, a valid credit card for payment, and that's it. No need to pick up the telephone, no need to answer a bunch of questions, no need to come into the store, and it's still just $9.75 complete. It's so easy, even I can do it. For more information, visit us at downeastdirectcremation.com or call us at 207-225-5332. Simple, affordable, respectful. The button, only at downeastdirectcremation.com.
Yodeling is a tradition that dates back for centuries, high up in the Alps, and it is now only growing.
It's emerged as a passion for profession and thousands, and now Switzerland is even seeking special recognition from the UN. Here's ABC's Danny New with more.
Yodeling may classically be thought of as when a European herder bellows from a mountaintop. But in Switzerland, this centuries-old tradition has transitioned into an accessible pastime from any elevation.
For me, actually, in Switzerland, we have 4 languages, but I think really we have 5 languages. We have the 5th, the yodel.
Nadia Ress here is a professor at Luzern University, which 7 years ago became the first Swiss school to teach yodeling. While fellow nations of the Alps, Germany, Austria, and Italy also have yodeling, Nadia insists that Switzerland has a distinctive style.
We use the sound colors of the voice, so we call it register. So we change between head voice, this is we do it most time with the vowel oo in combination, and we do also the chest voice. We do it with the vowel O. Very typical is when we change between these two.
But here's the next mission, getting recognition from the United Nations.
Founded in 1945, UNESCO was born from a vision.
The UN has a cultural agency called UNESCO, and Switzerland is now asking to have yodeling included on its list of, quote, intangible cultural heritage. A decision is expected by the end of the year, but regardless, as yodeling continues to be passed down from generation to generation, it sure seems to already be a lasting part of this culture.
I've started yodeling when I was 14 because of my family, and it's my passion, and now I can do it professionally, so that's just great.
The Swiss government says more than 12,000 yodelers are now part of the Swiss Yodeling Association, all presumably saying, yodeling hee-hoo. In New York for ABC News, whoo, I'm Danny New.
Oh my gosh,
There
how
you
cool
go.
is that though?
Very neat. Yeah, I promise I won't do it.
Yeah, well,
Janessa already said, don't do that on the air. I can't yodel well.
we're going to turn things over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment, 922-2043. Already gale warnings up along the coast, lasting until 10 o'clock later on this evening. Along the coast right about in here with wind advisories expiring later on this morning. Right about in here as well for parts of the state. So definitely a mess out there this morning. Wave heights, a mess as well at around 3 to 8 feet according to the buoys. Even worse farther out towards sea at around 12 feet and even 10 feet according to this buoy. And anywhere you see green, even higher surf being estimated by the graphics at this moment in time. The area low pressure continuing to track off towards the east this morning. On land, some rain and even some snow being estimated by radar, so don't be surprised if you notice some snow this morning. It won't really stick for very long as air temperatures will be warm and ground temperatures still warm as well, so nothing to get too worried about, but we're definitely entering that time of the year where the precipitation will be switching over from time to time as these systems do track through and temperatures definitely swing, but we'll see this wrapping up throughout the morning period as things definitely progress. But futurecasts moving forward, partly cloudy, the general idea today, but if you look closely, slight chance for rain not out of the question today. And then later on tonight, mostly clear, still breezy at times. Then throughout tomorrow, sunshine to start, and then increasing clouds throughout the day. And then once we head towards Friday evening, another system passes through, snow to the north, rain chances for us, and we'll be watching for that again through parts of Saturday. Not a lot of rain, but we could see up to a quarter of an inch or so before we're all finished up there. So for today, mid-40s, partly cloudy, a slight chance for rain, and that northwest wind getting up to about 40 miles per hour at times. Tonight, mid-20s, mostly clear and breezy, and that west wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow, upper 40s, mostly cloudy and breezy, and that south wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive. Rain chances for your Saturday with highs in the upper 50s, mid-40s for your Sunday under a mostly cloudy sky, and rain chances again for your Monday with highs in the mid-40s.
No matter what happens in D.C., there's one thing we can count on. Susan Collins always delivers for Maine. Susan's Law restored Social Security benefits for thousands of Mainers like me. Collins is protecting our lobster industry by fighting unfair regulations. Susan always has our back.
And Collins Law expands care to help Mainers fight Alzheimer's.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
I appreciate everything she is doing.
Call. Thanks, Senator Collins, for fighting and winning for Maine.
Davis Brothers Furniture is expanding. At Davis Brothers, we've always strived to stand out from the rest, and we are now proud to offer flooring for your home. Featuring both carpeting and luxury vinyl flooring, We even have an installer in-house with over 30 years of experience. Come see the reason people have been traveling from all over the state and beyond to Davis Brothers Furniture in Guilford for decades. Davis Brothers Furniture, deliberately different, delivering statewide.
You're gripping a pumpkin spice latte, watching the home game on a Friday night. Earlier, you took the kids apple picking and almost made it through the corn maze. It's that time of year. Shorter days, cooler nights. Valley Home Services believes the comfort and warmth of home means more on nights like these. Comfort and warmth that comes from Fujitsu heat pumps. Valley Home Services has the most reliable choices for heating and cooling your home or business. Ditch the worry of heating bills and power outages all season long with Valley Home Services. Go ahead, embrace the comfort.
The city needs us at our best, even when things are at their worst.
113, all hands on! Pull!
David Muir, the most watched newscast in America. And now, ABC's World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the third year in a row.
Law enforcement has to deal with a lot of bad things, but the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office is having some fun with the public. They're kicking off their annual fall photo contest. For several years, officers have been taking pictures, connecting them with places all over Penobscot County. Sheriff Troy Morton says there's a friendly competition in the department, and it's a great way to do some community engagement, too. You can go to their Facebook page and vote for the pictures that you like the best. Pretty shots.
Yeah, I'll have to go vote after this. And people around the world are looking up at the night sky, and they got to see the biggest and brightest supermoon of the year. While a supermoon happens a few times a year, people in Mexico City and Bogota, Colombia, saw it shine on Wednesday night. The November supermoon is the second of 3 this year and is also the closest. The moon will come just under 222,000 miles from Earth. A supermoon happens when a full moon is closer to Earth in its orbit. NASA says the phenomenon makes the moon look up to 14% bigger and 30% brighter than the faintest moon of the year.
Couldn't see it last night because of the clouds, but the other night, boy, it was so bright.
It was bright.
Yeah. And goldfish are making a comeback to the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade. That's right, goldfish. But it may be a tough catch. The fish-shaped snack is returning to the iconic parade in New York City for the first time in more than 10 years. And it is making history in what it calls the world's smallest parade float. The company says the littlest float is only 14 goldfish crackers long and is inspired by its recent Snow Day commercial as well.
How cool.
Better watch out that you don't step on it.
Yeah.
Pretty small.
It is small.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. That's all the time that we have left for this hour, but you can join us for the second hour of Good Morning Maine. That's next on Fox 22.
Thanks for being there, everyone. We hope you have a wonderful day.